All right, so Ms. G is back with the interactive segment. Welcome once again, Ms. G.
Yes, thank you, Israel. So welcome to the most interactive segment on Joy News Prime. You can join the conversation by sending your comments to facebook.com/Joy News on TV. On Twitter, the handle is Joy News on TV. You can also send messages via WhatsApp on 0560 800,000, and they will be read in real time to the rest of the world. We are days away to the December 7 elections, and the campaigns are heating up in all the camps. Both the NDC and MPP presidential candidates are in the Upper East region campaigning. But over the weekend, President John Dramani Mahama was in Laura in the Upper East region. Whilst addressing party supporters, President Mahama said people of the North should vote for him because the MPP will not allow Dr. Bamia to run on its ticket for presidency. So we are asking, is this tribal politics, and is the president allowed to do so?
The president is treading on a dangerous grounds. He being the first gentleman of the land, we expect him to deliver and speak on issues that will make people vote for him, but not on tribal politics. I'm quite disappointed, though, in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
For me, if they say I should take a stick, I would say the president was trying to set the record straight on what is happening in the MPP. It's not about tribal politics, but putting record straight. See, as putting the record straight that this is what is happening in the MPP. So no matter what Bawumia will do, he's not going to be president, or he's not going to get a chance to stand as a presidential candidate for the MPP.
I mean, this, you see, when my brother begins to speak like this, it makes me laugh. I mean, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, prior to the 2012 elections, was saying that he is a Northerner. He went there to say that he's a Northerner, so they should vote for him. When Nana Akufo-Addo said that we are Khans, they were attacking him. They were attacking. Meanwhile, you went to the North to say that you are not now. So once you are not now, we should vote for you. And someone goes to say we are Khans and you are attacking the person. Don't you think we should also attack you?
So in essence, are you saying the president isn't allowed to do so?
You know, in essence, the president is the first gentleman of the land. He is supposed to set good examples for others to follow, not to make such comments. Because if you say that, let us go back to 2008 when Alhaji Ali Mahama, when they were contesting. I mean, 8 people contested, not 8. There were more than 8 people who contested. So, I mean, it's not something that, and let me say that Bawumia has become a force to reckon with in our national politics. People believe him, whether we like it or no. People believe him. I want to tell my brother that even people in the NDC believe him, but just that some of them don't want to, you know, because of some. But then people believe him. So if he's to run on the tickets of the MPP, I believe that he's going to go up. But then I don't think now. I don't think it's going to be now.
Right, so going on to Facebook to get to see the comments that are there, and a number of you have been sharing your thoughts on this. Kofi saying, look, the president doesn't have a message going into this election, so I've not been surprised on some of the comments the president has been making in this campaign, but believe you me, Ghanaians are going to change him whether he comes from the east or west. And Moses Amwa says, it's not only tribalistic, but unpresidential. President Mahama and the NDC should credit with the Northerners with some level of intelligence. Northerners should not vote based on where one comes from, but by merit. Tribal bigotry will not win John Mahama any vote. Change is what we're looking for. And we have Mohammed. He says, ha ha ha, his days are numbered. He says his days are numbered. He thinks some of Northerners are fools. This tribalism saying won't change some of with the Northerners who love our country very much. We need change, and change is coming, inshallah. And Pajo says it's a political jab, and it's part of the campaign trail, but I wish President Mahama could avoid these lines, especially in a country where MPP controls the media and invest heavily to promote their cause. President Mahama, please stick to the issues because the media is unfriendly, even when it suits the devil. He quotes the Bible. And Kwesi Boateng says, and who said the NDC allowed him to run freely? It was because Professor Mills died along the line. Appointing him was the best decision then. No wonder he has succeeded in putting the vice president to sleep and eroding the progress of Ghana, and only wake him up to campaign for him. Bedi Yao says, vote for MPP because the current chairman is an Enzima man, Nanado, in the Western region. Vote for the MPP because they have me, a Muslim, as a running mate, Dr. Baumia. So essentially, you're just lining up a number of quotes that have been made by the MPP to say, suggest that it's tribalistic.
All right, so what's up? Let's start with Barry Makubaji from Ginny. Ginny says, the president stated an obvious fact. The MPP couldn't use a single minute to remember Alhaji Aliu Mahama. We've all seen what has become of a focal. President Kufuor asked Easterners to vote for their son. Was that tribal too? Hashtag JM Twasu. And the president is the first gentleman. He should know better. Nanado all the way. Rita from Sandema. And it's not tribal politics. The president was speaking fact. What didn't they do to Aliu Mahama? 17 thieves sat Legon. Hashtag from Robert Somanya. I'm not too sure what that means. But the president should stop saying such things. If not for the death of John Evans Atamios, would he have been president of this nation? So let's stop the tribal politics and do what's good for the nation. James in Wa, and also President Mahama is right, because the MPP will never allow Baumia to be president because MPP did it to Aliu Mahama. Manuel in Akosombo sends that, and we would vote based on issues. We would vote for personalities, not political parties or tribes. Julius from Nandom. And also here we have one that says, Eben from Zebila says, the truth is bitter, but it stands. The president spoke the truth. And also Sally from Boko says, why is it that the MPP cannot see the massive infrastructural development done by JM, or are they pretending? I don't think this has got anything to do with what we are discussing. But moving on to another issue, after months of legal contest between former Attorney General Martin Amidu and businessman Alfred Woyome, all is set for a showdown on Thursday. But Mr. Amidu says he suspects the president will stop him from cross-examining Mr. Woyome. Really? Anyway, will such suspicion from Mr. Amidu have any impact on our judicial system?
Martin Amidu is not far from right and not far from wrong, in the sense that with what happened to the Muntie 3 and with the president granting them pardon, I think that is where he's looking at it from. But then I don't see the president coming into this because we are in an election year, almost close, I think 3 weeks or 2 weeks to the elections, and the president, if the president should do this, I think it might go against him. So I don't think he will do that. This is a case that Ghanaians are much more interested because of the money that was paid to Alfred Woyome. So I don't think the president will do that. He should just calm down and then do his cross-examination. But then the impact on the on our judicial service, if the president should do that, I think people will lose some sort of credibility and some sort of comfort in our judicial system, because that's where we go for redress when we are at conflict with the constitution, or when we don't get things right. So if that place becomes a place where people can interfere easily, then I think people might begin to lose interest and confidence in our judicial system.
Okay, Nathaniel.
Okay, I think that the president will not even dare to interfere in this matter because, as he said, political. We are now in election year, and if you try, or some 2 weeks left with 2 weeks for us to vote, and if you try this, I don't think it will work well for your voters out there. And also, the judiciary that we are talking about is an independent body. They don't depend on the president. They have their own facts, and they are not going to take instructions from the president. The president, the Mutie trade that he was talking about, the president did not interfere. After they went to put them in court and granted them this, and so it's not about the president. The president cannot interfere. I don't think he will interfere in this matter.
I think Martin Amidu is actually being unfair to the people of Ghana, in the sense that if you could make such a strong allegation, then it means you know something the public don't know, or you've heard something, or something has been sent across to you. So if he could do us that favor by, stating things clearly on the reasons why he thinks the president will want to interfere. Because you should have good reasons to, you can't just come out and tell people that you think the president will interfere without giving them good reasons. So I think he's not done us a good, he's not done us any good by just saying it that way. He should come out more and explain further to us.
Right, so we don't know what probably Martin Amidu may have picked, the signals he would have picked for him to arrive at this conclusion. But going to your comments that you've posted on Facebook, Boating says, Amidu has always been saying he's the only man to collect the money for the nation, so he should focus and stop the mind games. We see Boating also says, because of the early warning signs Mr. Amidu has picked, I guess the president will resort to another strategy, and that will be praying to God that his name or none of his appointees are cited in the cross-examination. Mr. Amidu is now the headache of the NDC, and he is also the panacea to corruption. Eliasu Tamale says, if the president could use his influence to free the Muntio trio, what else can't he do? Clearly, the NDC is sitting on tenterhooks ever since Martin Amidu was granted the opportunity to cross-examine Woyome. If Woyome is wise, he would sing like a canary bird on that day. Intachi says, this is an indictment on the judiciary. So presidents have been manipulating the judicial system, you ask? I mean, it should come again. Kabute Doku says, how's that possible? Kofi Samsing says, Amidu is an attention seeker. Krogo Steven says, let's wait and see. And Demdia says, this can't be.
All right, here on WhatsApp, we have Bambakia Samet says, Martin Amidu's oral examination of Woyome will not make any difference. The case has been heard in several courts in this country. What happened? He tried by exposing this looting. That's all he could help Ghana with. And that's Samet in Bambakia. And people are still reacting to the earlier story. And suddenly, Martin Amidu is MPP's hero, a man who lied against the president and was asked to retract by the Supreme Court, still is on his lying spree. Thank God he's in the NDC, because otherwise he will be treated like Arthur Kennedy, Nyauta Maklo, and the many others in the MPP. God bless Ghana. Berima Kubaji, Jini. And yes, Amidu must tell us why the president wants to do that. Godfred in Tachima. The president cannot interfere, so he should focus and help win the case for the nation. Zagabuta, Takradi. And Joshua from Tachima. MPP people know more than we do. So people are still reacting to the initial story. So maybe I take a few of those comments. But before then, this is one that has got to do with Woyome's case. Mahama should try and interfere in this Woyome saga, and we'll see what happens in December or on December 7th. Mahama must go. And it's funny the way he writes Mahama. So he puts a symbol of a hammer and types M-A with a hammer. So that's how he spells his Mahama here. But also, bitterness is a weapon that is hunting Martin Amidu. So Nanado is going to win this year's election. Kelvin from Hallware. So those are some of the comments we've received here on WhatsApp. Now, if you had a day to live, what would you do?
I'll spend time with my loved ones, my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, of course, and everyone who matters to me. You know, we'll go out chilling, and my friend will go out chilling. Of course, I have to work on my salvation too, because I'll be dead, and then I'll just appear before God, and you have to judge me. So after chilling and everything, then I'll go and take my Bible, and I'll pray, spend time with God, and then I'll die and go and rest in peace.
I'll just make certain corrections if there is any, and make up with the ones those I have problems with and all that. Then I'll spend time with my loved ones.
You don't have enough time to ask me anything.
Well, I can tell you,
Okay.
I'd make peace with all men and with God.
I'll get married. And that's it for Joy News Interactive.
Is
Sorry, that's it.
Is
for
that
Joy
all
News.
that's on your mind right
That's
now?
it for Joy News Interactive.
Okay.